I really
would. We're not live yet. We can talk about whatever we want.
Really share my peace of mind.
Yeah, man. First off, let's talk about these other brands from Hasbro. All right. First, oh shit, we are live.
Oh,
what am I doing? Oh man, I guess we'll have to hold that thought. Hey everyone. Welcome to another Toy Anxiety Bootleg. I'm Ryan Doell. I am your host for Toy Anxiety Bootleg number 8. And I'm always very happy that you're all here. Jay, welcome back.
Thank you. Honored to be here. 8th times the charm.
Well, you're not the only back-to-backer here. Ryan Ting is also here. This is he's back-to-back, 7 and 8.
Really? What's the record? What's the who's been on the most bootlegs aside from you?
I think besides from might be you or Trevor.
Hey, Trevor, you've done
I've
one
only
too.
done one before this.
Right?
Your second
you guys
time.
Are both,
I think this is
your second time.
Yeah. We'll have to make Jack for the 5th time whenever that happens.
That's right. We'll have to do something big for one, like whoever reaches 5 first. They get to have their photo added to the cardboard.
Can I just say something real quick before we get going? Ryan Doell.
Absolutely.
Your mustache game right now is chef's kiss. So good.
Thank you. It does it itself now. I'm at that point.
Really?
Unfortunately, it just does it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You look like a 1800s U.S. president just by waking up?
Yeah, I woke up one day and isn't that how it works? I wake up one day, I'm 80 and I'm now running the United States of America. Number 1 politics podcast. Toy Anxiety Bootleg.
Number one 1800s presidential
candidate.
Oh my god.
Fix all the world's problems. Yeah. But thank you. And it's unfortunate this is about to leave my face because of Halloween. I'm going full Doelloween. Full Doelloween.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I got the whole blue and yellow ready to rock.
Probably people are like, you have these amazing guests and you're talking about facial hair.
Yeah. We're doing pretty good. I mean, between the 4, if
3,
you know,
3
Trevor
out of 4. It's okay.
If Trevor and I just trimmed a little, we could send some to Ryan.
The thing is, I grow facial hair to cover up, the softness here. And Ryan, you have a very nice jawline. You don't need facial hair to cover that up.
I don't know, man. It gives me
facial hair to create a jaw.
That's right.
Ryan, you look great. You don't need one.
Oh, shush. Anyways, let's say hello to the chat before we get rocking and rolling. Because we're going to sell some crowdfunds today of all sorts. At least that's my goal. I'm going to get 2 crowdfunds funded in one night. That's my goal. Okay. One night. One's going to be harder work than the other, I think. But I think we're going to do this. I think we're going to be just fine. Let's say hello to Toy Farce. Welcome here, Dorlaxian. Do they have Halloween in Canada? Dude, we invented Halloween. Abigail Gardner was here. This isn't sanctioned. Well, guess what? You're not here, which means you quitter. Mike McDonald is here. Toy Geekosaurus, Dartherian. We got Derek Hoover, Stanley Eberhard. Gosh,
Eberhard.
I don't know how you guys do this. I can barely do this on Gotham, right? Manic Mike, McFly Toys, I want to say Wages of Sin because it sounds like a cool death metal band. Thanoscopter, Paul Morales, Smetty45, Matt Bush. All our favorite is Matt Bush. GB Gabe85. Something tells me he's a Ghostbusters fan. Someone's definitely ready for 1027. 1027. Shout out to Pam. Syria Kilo Bravo is here.
Hashtag where's Pam? Hashtag free Pam. Hashtag
where exactly right. I'm expecting big things from the Ghostbusters crew. Tony Taylor is here. Jason Grosecki, 14-month member. Thank you very much, dude. Matt Bush, 14 months as well. Oh my goodness. Chad Stewart, member for 8th. Riley Bob. Bootlegs are the best. That's quite the statement. Tony Taponi, howdy. Stonehenge is here. Another fellow Canadian. That's Stonehenge. Country Boy 9, Flash 739, Cone Killer Confusor. He sounds like a He-Man villain too. I'm gonna have to do. Johnny Cock is here. Shondo Gecko, Daniel Key. That's right? Daniel Key. I'm gonna say that's what. Right. Lifelong toy collector Skylar Davis. All right, and so Kayla Silva's here. Chat. Right. There is a super chat. Hang on. I'm going to get to those super chats. I'm going to scroll right down them. First, we got Johnny Cock. Today is the real toy anxiety. That's a bold statement. And then wishes Jacob Walsh a happy birthday. So kind of a little bit.
Happy birthday, Jacob.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Jacob.
Probably out eating birthday cake right now.
Ooh, yeah.
Look at those beautiful faces. Oh, shucks. And Matt Bush. This is a test. Can Doell run the chat or does he need Craig? Guess what? Craig doesn't even do this. Abby does. So the real question is, do I need Abby? The answer is yes. Charlie Weaver, member for 1 month. Thank you for being a member.
Got a new member down here too.
We've got a new member. We got J Rad, member for 14 months. And new member, Punk with Toys. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Oh, toying around. Kevin. I will see Kevin on the weekend. I will be out in Toronto. And I will see Kevin. We will be getting absolutely wasted at the Off-World Bar for a fundraiser for Canadian Blood Services hosted by our buddy Paul. Don't know if anyone saw his pictures in Variety today.
For the new Avatar?
Avatar, Last Airbender live action, his Uncle Iroh.
Looks good.
Looks amazing. Right?
This is, friend of or at least I'm pretty sure Ted probably watches you too, but Ted Biaselli's on a roll. The One Piece was amazing, and I think this one's going to be pretty darn good too.
Looks pretty rad. Daniel Day Kim looking pretty hot.
DDK. He's a really good dude. Known him since the Lost Days. I love Daniel Day Kim.
So, funny story. So when Paul was living out here, because he was filming Avatar.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you and Brandon should come out for dim sum." We're like, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll come out for dim sum." Yeah, it's like a bunch of the cast was there. So I'm sitting there with like a bunch of the cast of Avatar.
And so wasn't DDK a really nice guy? Like really
So
cool
I didn't get to meet. See, everyone was there but him. But but he actually like was staying like above where Paul was staying. So he'd always be like, so Paul would always like casually name drop it and be like, "Oh yeah, Daniel came over, we had some whiskey." I was like, "Dude, I live like 3 blocks away." That's when you invite me over.
Podcast days, it was him and Jorge Garcia who were regular listeners and would like, write in and stuff like that.
Oh, so you're like right in there.
Yeah. Once upon a time.
Well, Lost used to be a big deal.
It used to be.
They had McFarlane toys too. Right?
Davey Sockrocker. He hates me.
Why?
He just hates me. I don't know why.
Oh, Davey Sockrocker. Wow, oh, ouch. So many great toy community icons and Geek Dad Life. He's above icon.
Yeah.
We now worship that man.
I'm thankful to be here.
I'm thankful that you are here. Awesome. All right. So we're all turtle collectors. Did you guys all see the news today?
I'm excited. Oh boy, here we go.
Here we go. Let's do it.
Trevor has thoughts.
I saw it this morning.
Let me know when these come out, Trevor.
I don't know. Well, I
No,
didn't.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
You're in charge of all things turtles, right, Trevor?
Yeah.
Even if it's made by Mattel.
I'm the brand manager of all the brand managers.
Oh.
Yeah. No, yeah, these are cool. They did a teaser or something at Toy Fair, right?
Yeah, they did.
Some artwork, and now we see like, I don't know, prototypes or production samples, whatever these are.
I think these are actual productions because I think they have these ready to go, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, like,
yeah, go ahead, Jay. I want to hear your thoughts.
shit. Maybe, yeah. Somebody else talk. I don't need to talk.
Okay, Ryan, you're a turtle guy. I know you're a turtle guy. What are your first thoughts on these?
I mean, I think it's curious to not launch with the best turtle and the first batch of promo images, but that's okay. These look pretty fun. I like that Krang in particular. I'm not a huge Motu collector, but I mean, I don't know. I might have to. I might be swayed by the rule of 4 on this one if I see all 4 turtles together in one place at one time. I don't know how the wave structure is going to be, but
yeah, I never even thought of that. I'm really hoping that these work like Origins, where the armor pieces all come off.
Mm-hmm.
Because these are some really nice articulated turtles that you can just throw around in the bathtub in the sandbox. Trevor, your thoughts on these?
Yeah, that was my thought too. I can't wait to get into the bathtub with these. No, the Krang is really interesting looking. He's kind of like this orc or some kind of ogre thing. It's cool. Donatello's pretty cool looking with like the
Man-at-Arms
armor. Yeah, what's He-Man supposed to be? We were trying to figure this out today. He's like
he's got them veiny snicker looking arms, and he's like purple. Yeah, I don't know what they're. Right. I don't know. I wasn't even sure this was He-Man at first. I actually thought it was that other. What is it, Titus? You're the.
It's a little bit like Titus. It's a little bit like Faker.
Yeah.
There's like a couple different He-Man things, but I wasn't sure what the Ninja Turtle crossover is with them.
It's
or
like
if there needs to be one, maybe there doesn't. I don't know.
It doesn't look like there's it's weird because like Leo to me doesn't look like a mashup, and neither does Man-at-Arms. But then Trapjaw clearly is a mashup.
Yeah.
Or something.
He's got a mouse.
I'm reading through the official blurb from Mattel that they sent me. Hold on, I'm trying to.
Oh, they sent you. What do we got here, Jay?
Okay. So the thing that because I got to submit questions to the Mattel team and they're supposed to respond to them, so I don't know when that'll happen. But
right.
Wait, I don't know if I can say this yet, so I don't know. Maybe I just won't say it. But I'm excited for how the storyline, because they're kind of confusing in what they said I can say and what. Please do not share notes of the upcoming releases. So I think they talk about the current releases. Maybe I can't share it all. Okay. Anyway, it's exciting.
Okay. Oh, these are Mattel creations.
No, they're not Mattel. Oh. They are Mattel creations. They're not Mattel creations.
They're created by Mattel.
But I think it's cool. I think is it? Oh, can I share my thoughts now?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
No, I'm really excited. Because to be honest, remember those like leaked images a while back? I was like, ooh, these are not looking so good.
Right. Yep.
And I think these are a lot of fun. I've seen already, a lot of comments like, oh, these are stupid. I hate these, whatever.
Not from the toy community.
Never. But to me, it's just like, this is something different. Like, you still have Motu stuff. You still have, there's like a bajillion different Turtles things. So if you don't want it, they're fine. There's so much other Turtle stuff out there. But to me, I think, especially going to, if you want to go back to the Turtles, like since this is using the Origins buck, you have like that swappability. And so just bringing that into bringing Turtles parts and pieces into the Motu world just has a lot of playability. But I think they look like a lot of fun. I love the Leo, but I think Ryan has a good point. Like not having the core for it's it's rare to not do all the core 4 turtles at once or have them all on shelves at the same time. But
or anything related to Skeletor.
yeah. So that just means they got to do more. So Mattel, you gotta make more.
I do like this Leo though. This is awesome.
This is cool. Good. But I think my favorite's Donatello. I just love, because if you were gonna mash up 2 people or give, I don't know, like, because Man at Arms is kind of the tech guy of Motu.
Yeah, he's the inventor.
Yeah, so like Donnie having that sick, and then you made his bow staff like a mace staff, which is really cool. Plus that pearlescent purple looks just, I don't know, I love purple, so I think this is fun. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So hang on, just want to acknowledge these here. We got Davey Sockrocker.
Ooh,
right? We need Mikey faces with 3 spinning expressions.
I love that.
I like that too. And Dave Ball, happy birthday to Jeffrey from Toys R Us. Okay.
It's today's birthday?
I guess so.
Happy birthday.
On the day that Tony Stark died in the MCU. Oh, that's so dark. But no, I like where this line can go. I was one of my buddies, because we were talking about, like, because Mattel has no problem doing play sets, it seems.
Yes. So that was, I asked the Mattel team. This was one of my questions I asked.
Oh, okay. What was their answer?
Well, again, so it's like we submit them and we'll, I'll get an answer. Maybe.
You don't. Okay.
But one of the questions I asked was, do you love this crossover? Is there a possibility that we could get crossover vehicles and play sets, like, Turtle Van Attack Track or Sewer Grayskull or whatever? Like, could we?
What I want, I was saying this to my buddy today. I was like, I want a Snake Nodrome.
Snake Nodrome, yeah.
Right, like
I love that idea.
It would be a lot of fun. I don't know. I see there's a lot of potential in this line. It's super fun. It kind of makes me just a little bummed out that, like, they're still not doing anything with real Ghostbusters. Just because I feel like they're that middle kid that gets left out of all
that's
out
true.
of all this fun stuff. Like, that's what it feels like.
But I think that's on Sony to a certain extent, because Paramount's reaching out to Mattel to do this crossover thing. So
it's actually my fault, by the way.
I think if we're gonna blame anybody, we're gonna blame Sony Pictures.
Alice Troy, Fright Zone Terrordrome. That's
just
funny.
Anything Terrordrome? I don't know. Just make a Terrordrome.
Just
do it.
Make something.
God.
Yeah. But I'm loving these.
I love the idea of a Snake Mountain Terrordrome, because instead of the eyeball, it's like a snake on the top or something.
No, you have it so it's like a snake eye on the top, and then the eye extends out like a snake.
Isn't that basically what I just said?
Maybe. I don't know.
Fine, whatever.
I don't know. Trevor, what do you think of play sets for these? You've been getting some grief on play sets.
Play sets are great. Sometimes they're a little tricky to design or whatever. Over here,
I didn't give that much. I didn't give.
No, I'm pointing at Jay, because he's given grief on play sets before.
I didn't give any grief. I barely gave griefs.
Yeah,
very little griefs. You know what I do love? I love Trevor. I love the inserts in the street scene thing. I think that's brilliant.
Oh, that we had at New York.
Yeah, I think that's the coolest freaking thing. Because like there's just so many possibilities with that.
There's seems to be people seem to like that pretty good. We only made that because they ordered us these see-through cases, and so the back side of the case was like, because the street is unfinished inside.
Yeah,
I was like, oh crap, now we have to make like an inside to this. So, but it wasn't that hard because it's just like printed walls and stuff.
Yeah,
like my best friend Travis in the whole world, he made them, and then we 3D printed some stuff to go in there. It wouldn't be that hard to manufacture. So
exactly.
It would be cool. Same with that like last Ronin street dio that we made. Where it's all gritty. It has the barbed wire and stuff. Like I just made that, to display all the Ronin figures at San Diego, but it wouldn't be that hard to just like redeco it and put out like a new street. That's all.
Yeah.
gritty and scary looking and stuff. So, yeah, if we
I think it's cool.
kind of like test market them, we just make them, see if people like them, and we'll produce it. If not, then move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I have a question because we haven't seen any of the Archie Turtle stuff since San Diego.
Yeah.
They're still coming though, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think it's going to be, I think it should be a pretty big year for Archie next year. With I just got an email the other day from the factory that like the Belly Bomb test shot is finished. We should be getting that. I was hoping we'd have Belly Bomb ready to show at New York, but there's always delays and that stuff. So, but yeah, we've got deco samples of Belly Bomb and Mondo coming. We've got the wrestling turtles that'll be out like next year, and there's a bunch more stuff after that we have planned. So
that's like the most exciting thing to me. Are those Archie Turtles? Like they look so good. Like I don't know if I don't think we had. I think I probably just DM'd you a lot during San Diego because I was just like, oh my god, because they are some of the most beautiful looking toys I have ever seen.
Yeah, they're cool. The wrestling costumes are super fun. So they're great sculpts. They'll be out. There's lots more. The Archie stuff is fun because it's like this cool extension of the cartoon sort of. They just, I don't know, they're great. So
I'm all
stuff playing next year.
I'm absolutely all for that stuff. And like, and again, because we haven't had you on since either, and it's just that giant Krang.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like he's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's another one I've wanted to do for a long time. It's been sitting around, and we finally thinking about making it. So it's got we resculpted the head for the android body. There's a new Krang in the belly. That's like an all new sculpt. So we like upgraded some stuff. And he's somewhere between 18 and 20 inches tall. So we've got all that stuff over the factory now, getting, pricing and all that stuff figured out. And hopefully that should be out sometime mid next year, maybe.
That's super cool.
So it's a nice big centerpiece for your collection. So
I feel that's like one of those, it feels like a must have.
Yeah.
Like even if you were just to have like a standalone, just you wanted something nice to have by your bedside.
Yeah.
What I love about it is it like fills it's like line agnostic. Like, so say you like the Super 7 turtles and maybe that, you may never get to a big Krang. Like it's going to fit with that or if you just want a big ass Krang and not really have a collection, or you have a collection that's going to complete your collection. Like it's one of those pieces that stands alone and can play with so many other toy lines. I think it's a really good piece.
I'm looking forward to it too. I have a whole bunch of Krangs and android bodies from other companies, and so Trevor, I know it's so easy just to make giant action figures that everyone loves. So you guys are gonna have no problem just completely blown away. However you decide to release it, everyone's gonna love it, and everyone's gonna love it in the same way. Because that's
no one's gonna have any opinions.
All I know is next year my display is gonna be Krang versus Giant Man.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Right? The Sentinel watching on, like, dude, I'm like over here, like, come fight me.
No,
and I'm gonna.
It should just be like like if there's like 3 kids in the picture and like 2 kids are like doing this, and then the one in the middle is going like. That's Galactus, just like I don't know.
What is happening? I kind of wish I was able to take the center out of the Sentinel and then put the Krang inside.
Ooh, that's I'm looking at my Sentinel right now. I don't know where you'd do it though.
Yeah, but it would be fun.
It would be fun,
right? Like I don't know how much we can actually talk about Giant Man, Ryan, but I, for one, am freaking stoked.
Wait, Ryan, have you seen the Brian Brink projections? Did you see that from Sunday's show?
I did. I checked the site again today. I don't know how often it's updated, but
I think it is every, I don't know how very often, but
yeah. So I think, right, Jay, you guys were saying how he was pretty accurate with calling the last number.
yeah, he was within 200. And so the projection is at 10,766. So I think we need a Doell. We haven't done like an election night HasLab since like Rancor. I feel like.
I'm gonna be in Toronto, which
Oh, come
sucks.
on.
But hey, man, my money is on the table. Hasbro just needs to take it. That's all. That's like I laid my pre-order down. It was like, to me, like I know I'm always like, I always complain about running out of space, says the guy with the like freaking Jabba the Hutt playset over his shoulder, right? But it's like the amount of work that got put into it, like with the glass eyes, for instance, that was a huge.
It's amazing.
Like, to me, that was a big deal. The interchangeable face, but the mask stays on, so like that's still like another level. It's not just like another head that you clip on. That was a big like selling feature for me. Well, that and just and it be just being Giant Man, because like I always say, like I only focus on Spider-Man and X-Men, and then I look at my shelf and I've got like a giant massive Avengers team. Like I am as much as I'd say I focus on two things, I am a full-on Marvel collector, and I have been since 92 when Toy Biz started with, like, you know, or would it be even earlier, like when they started with Marvel superheroes, right? Like it was just, so it's just that's the what is the addiction where you just keep getting it.
So Ryan, I know it's probably not doing as well as you wanted it to do, but like just for me personally, I feel like you answered every, I don't know, critique or whatever of the last one. Like you brought in the price much lower. It's a Toy Biz, you know, BAF legend. Those Toy Biz ones go for like $200. This one's bigger, more detail, more articulation. It's priced to sell. Is there a little bit of just like, what else do we got to do? Or is it maybe just the character doesn't maybe have the same cachet as Galactus or Sentinel? Like, what has been your thoughts around that, if there is any yet?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about it, if it wasn't evident from just the structure and pricing of the campaign, right? But like, yeah, we tried to do something different, and hopefully that came across. I think, you know, people are entitled to have whatever opinions they want. They can like it or not like it, but that notion of like, oh, they're not trying, or they don't listen to us, or like they're not giving us what we want. It's kind of like, well, we are trying. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot went into it, right? We did a bunch of interviews at New York Comic Con of like, why Giant Man, and it's a combination of, it's a big Avengers celebration this year. It's been a long time since that Toy Biz Build-A-Figure was available. It's very expensive on the secondary market, right? I don't think a lot of modern collectors have that, or want to go through collecting 10 other figures to build one from scratch. Seems kind of like a high barrier to entry. And yeah, you know, it seems like nothing good can ever be easy. So yeah, this is going to come down to this. We're under a week left to go. Next Monday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to think about it all weekend, and then into Monday, and then all day Monday. But as a theme, right? Like Ryan, Spider-Man, Avengers, very popular teams. Avengers is maybe in that third kind of category for some folks. But like, if you think about it, really everyone who's been anyone in Marvel has been an Avenger. Spider-Man's been an Avenger. Yeah. The X-Men have all been Avengers. The Avengers is just kind of this umbrella a little bit. And we are really going after that kind of classic aesthetic. And so hopefully that the Giant Man kind of hits the nail on the head there for that desire. And, you know, Dwight was so funny at Comic-Con. He had a couple of videos saved on his phone, but I don't think he like arranged them into folders. So anytime someone came by and then asking about the faceplates, he would show that one video of the head coming out, but like he would just be scrolling through like all the pictures of his phone until he found it. And I was kind of like, I hope everything on your phone is cool.
Oh yes, right.
Be out there as people as
Whoops,
the interviewer
not
is just standing there looking over. No,
well, they're filming his phone. You see photos of people.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh my
I
god,
was like a little
that's
nervous for him,
hilarious.
but I think he was really eager to show that, and a lot of I think what people don't realize is like we're still making the tweaks we can make to the actual Giant Man engineering and offering as we go along.
Yeah,
and we've got a couple of marketing beats I think planned for the rest of the week, and just in terms of reminding people about things like scale, articulation, stuff like that. I mean, I don't think it's going to be throwing in crazy things. We said that from the beginning, right? Like we laid out everything, and that was intentional. Because in the past for Marvel, we hadn't. That was kind of my philosophy of like, I like not showing all the tiers up front for the previous projects, but we're kind of mixing it up, and it's going to be a busy couple of days here, but that's how it had to be all along, I suppose.
To me, I would think
it's over 6,100. We're almost at 6,200 on this thing.
But
already,
to me, since it is gonna, and I think Dwight was kind of alluding to it in some of his recent posts, but like the fact it's gonna be, if it is, like we don't know, it could have like an insane last couple of days, but it is gonna be a lower, print run, figure. So even if you're like borderline, like it's going to be, I don't know, I think just based on that, the secondary market prices are going to be much higher than the $200.
I'm actually tempted to get two just to pay off the other one. Because
I think that's part of it. Just like me knowing collectors, those first few HasLabs, the people that got multiples like cashed in because the print runs were so much lower. But the same hasn't been the case for some of these other HasLabs that have been huge, like Galactus or even the Sky Striker. Like secondary market prices for those haven't been like as crazy. And
I find that Marvel Legends has a insane secondary market value once they're off
exactly once they're out of
Big Bad
print,
Toy Store or whatever, right? Like once you see them sell out in stores or online or wherever, I find that Marvel Legends, they double like right off the bat,
which is not always the case in the modern toy collecting, right? So I don't know. I think there's a lot of value here, but I don't know. Doel, if you guys aren't going to do a live stream countdown, I think I want to do. Like it's just so much fun. I think it hits. I think it'll hit by the hair of its chinny chin chin.
Sticking with Marvel Legends, David Cabal, $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. At Ryan Ting, love the pictures of the Avengers versus the villains leading up to the Giant Man release. Would love to see more pics from the Hasbro team.
We've got a couple of pictures left. All the diorama shots that we kind of did, though, have pretty much been shown. That was a very long shoot. We kind of talked about it a little bit at PulseCon with Matt Cohen at Shooting the Galaxy. We brought him on to talk about it. And so not super easy to just go back and recreate everything and do more photos, but we got a couple more coming out that, again, just kind of show him maybe in comparison to the Sentinel to remind people that he's actually a little bit smaller and not as bulky as the Sentinel for those folks who are concerned that space is an issue, right? I mean, if it's the third, he's smaller than Galactus and Sentinel. So if you've already somehow managed to carve out space for either of those, then Giant Man would be able to slot right in. And I can't officially endorse that strategy that you guys were talking about, but that is a foolproof plan, I will say.
Yeah.
Sounds completely airtight. Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong. Yeah.
Buy 10,
Buy 10, buy a house. That's how it is, folks. Buy 10 Giant Men, then you can buy yourself a giant house just for yourself. Man. But speaking, I just want to stay on the Marvel Legends train for just one hot minute because these did come in this week. I got to show them off. I need to give your team props. You know that I am an absolute shill for Marvel Legends. And like I said,
he's wearing the t-shirt, folks, if you're listening.
By absolute happenstance.
I always wear this shirt.
Am I today? Should have thought about this before I went on the air. The X-Men 97 wave came in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right. These are, dude.
I
first
missed
off,
out. Ugh.
This
They
is
hit my
definitely
target, and we have a toy collecting group, and I saw it was in my target, and I ran over, and they were gone by the time I got there.
Let's talk about these backs of packages. This is what all toys should have. This is your
Cross
way.
sell, baby.
Look at this is why Marvel Legends gets nominated every year for nicest package at the Jeffries, right? Like this is why.
So good.
Like these are awesome, and I always have this. And Ryan, tell me if I'm wrong. Do you have on your team? Is there like a huge Storm fan and a huge Black Widow fan on your team? Because for some reason, those toys in particular always look amazing. Every Black Widow, every Storm figure.
Black Widow always gets stacked with accessories. There's definitely some bias there, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel it too.
Ryan's like, I
We
can
love
neither
them all.
confirm nor deny.
We love them all.
Yeah, we love.
We love all of our
Yeah.
children equally.
That's right. But this Bishop is great too. This is like one of the.
The Bishop's really good.
This is probably one of the best figures in the wave. Not to take away anything from anyone else in the wave, but Bishop, for one, doesn't get enough love in general in toys or in comics. Magneto, fantastic.
It's a great Magneto.
Great
That's the one I
Magneto.
really want because I need Magneto with the rest of my other.
This Gambit is going with my Jada Street Fighter figures.
Nice.
100%.
Cool.
Right? It just hang on.
call.
Let's take a look at that gorgeous hair.
So
Yeah.
nice.
Good.
Seriously, your team fucking killed it, Ryan. Like these are awesome. These are so good. It's just like I keep telling myself, how many more of these rogues, 90s rogues with the jacket do I need? The answer is all of them.
Another one. That's right.
I do have a question on that because, like, speaking of like my target, they got a wave and then everyone bought them. So by the time I got there's none left. Like, is this one that they'll get restocked more, or is it have I missed my chance and I'll have to go try and find them somewhere else? Or I don't know. Maybe you don't know if that is what the deal is there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, and it probably depends too, based on your target stores, because not all stores are set up the same way. But this wave is supposed to be, a mainline and fan channel wave. That's why everyone's getting it at Target.
Yeah.
And some of the other waves that are coming out are not going to be like that, which we've said in terms of like the Mindless One wave right now and the upcoming Void Build-A-Figure wave that we revealed the last couple of figures. So those are going to be more e-com, fan channel, Amazon type deals. But X-Men 97, hopefully it's everywhere. The entertainment date has shifted around a little bit on us, which made it a little difficult. But at least everyone kind of knows the X-Men.
Yeah.
At least we're not really introducing brand new characters for the first time, so I think it'll be all right.
I think, well, first off, everyone's talking about these figures and everyone's posting these figures, and I just showed them off as well. They're clearly
it's the hot
very
toy
popular.
tuber review. Everybody's doing one.
Everybody's doing one.
Except for me, because they sold out. So, but I have the kid figures. I did a review of those. Those are fun.
Oh, I have the Sentinels for those. I got those two Sentinels with my my original Toy Biz Sentinel and my HasLab Sentinel. Because again, you can't have too many Sentinels. Oh, I actually have two other the Water Wars Sentinels as well. I did get those as well back in the 90s, back at Toys R Us when those first came out. I was like, gonna need those. I have a question. Yeah, actually, this is a question again for Ryan. Sorry, it's because you brought up because the release date on these got pushed, and Spider-Verse also same thing happened. That got pushed. COVID pushed everything. Stuff just gets released. How does that put a knowing when these things get pushed? And I think you said on Kevin's Toying Around interview, which everyone should go watch, by the way, because it's a great interview. You mentioned that hey, there's if we do an X-Men 97 wave 2, now that will be further down the line. So does that mean when something like this happens and you're planning
2 years later?
Yeah, and you're planning to do a wave 2, it could be of anything, like a movie or a TV show or whatever. like, does that really, like, you guys have to go back to like the rescheduling board on all that kind of stuff and then push more figures up, or pull more figures up and then push these ones back? Like, how does that, are you allowed to talk about that first off?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
generally speaking, right? It depends on how far along the product is, right? If the product is already created, master cartons printed, sitting in warehouses, it's tougher from like a retailer standpoint to be like, hey, everyone, we're actually going to push the release date out a couple of months because retailers have their planograms set. And so sometimes like that's why certain movies that have moved around in the past couple of years, like Black Widow or Shang-Chi, I believe like those figures, like it was too late. Like we couldn't, if you're going to push them back, they might not end up at retail at all. So your options are keep it as it is or figure out something else. So that's why they kind of stay as is. In other cases, like the Marvels, which was supposed to release not in 2023 originally, I believe.
Yeah.
So, we've actually held the product as long as we could, and it kind of is coming out later this summer, fall for this fall's movie. So that one was one where, and like this happened with Eternals too, because that movie moved around a lot where like the product was done and we just had to hold it somewhere
Right.
until then. In terms of like, when a wave pushes out, does something else come in? That's really, really hard. And I'm sure, anyone in here, like, Trevor, like can speak to that too. It's like, it's a lot harder to bring things in. It's a lot easier to push things back and say, let's just pause on something, but to like, let's rush to fill a hole. Like that's really, really hard to do.
Yeah. I was wondering, I was wondering if that's even possible to do, because like we deal with the same thing in film where it's like, oh, this is on hold now. Let's work on these instead, but these aren't ready. So how do we work on them? Right. Like, it's just like, we go through the same thing.
Everyone's working at maximum capacity, whether it's, the packaging team, the project management, the vendors, whoever, like when something is paused, it's not like, we can just fill something, like if we're still running on something, right. It's hard to just go back and forth like on a dime. We can't really turn on a dime. And unfortunately, the way the entertainment industry is, as you know, Ryan, it's like these kinds of decisions where not everyone is necessarily privy to them or can see it coming. Like there are rumors about things, but nothing is really confirmed until it's like that article, in Hollywood Reporter or Variety. And then it's like, all right, well, I guess we got our work cut out for us,
That's how we find out too sometimes.
That's how it comes down.
Right? Like that's how I agree. But you guys did a great job of lining up the legends for Spider-Verse with the release of Spider-Verse. Again, this is not a knock on another brand at Hasbro, but there's nothing more exciting than going to a movie, seeing a show, and being able to go to Toys R Us in Canada. Sorry, guys.
Hey, we're getting it's coming back for the US, okay?
Yeah, I've heard that like for
24
years.
stores. 2-3 superstores.
It'll be
great.
exciting. But yeah, no, it is great to be able to go see something and then be able to go to the store and see it on the shelf, even if you're collecting it or not. It's still super, like Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Like,
there's something.
What a rollout.
Well, like Mutant Mayhem was like, I don't know, like that was just old school, just stacked, like just stacks on stacks. And then like the Toys R Us one especially was just like, the Canada ones were just nuts. But even Target, 15 of each figure, $10 a piece. Like it was nuts. But it's probably Ryan, you're like, well, it's easier when like Playmates only has to do this one movie or this one property versus like Marvel has to do like 75 different Marvel properties all at the same time.
There's a lot.
I don't know if you can answer this either. Like, so when that happens, when you have like a Disney, like Loki dropping at the same time as like, well, I guess X-Men 97 was supposed to drop like this month originally, I think, or next month or last month. I can't even remember now. Like, is it Marvel or that kind of comes to you and is like, hey, can you like shift your focus here? Or is that like up to you guys to kind of direct that?
It's a joint thing. I mean, I think Marvel would probably want to promote one thing at a time in terms of, an upcoming show or a show or like a Disney Plus, like an ongoing release schedule. But from Hasbro's side, we want to sell as much as we can, and that's usually when it's in the heat of the entertainment, because we know collectors are always aware of everything, but sometimes those casual fans maybe less so. But yeah, it's becoming increasingly harder to thread that needle, like you said. The Mutant Mayhem launch again, I agree, that was awesome. You can walk in and you can basically get any of the basic $10 figures, and you've got vehicles, and there are some Target exclusives, I believe, sprinkled in there too. And I wish everything could go back to that.
Yeah.
So do we? Right.
But I have a question for Trevor. Like, Trevor, do you enjoy running a toy line where it's not necessarily tied to entertainment as much? Like you're hitting on things that are already out, so you don't have to like stress about like timing it to anything, or do you have some of those same pressures
that came out 30 years ago?
Yeah.
You know what it
No
looks
spoilers,
like, not
no leak.
changing. Like there isn't some last minute thing where the director wanted to, it take like to make a figure where it takes at least like a year, and all the a lot of the work is done up front, like sculpting, painting, all that's done first. It goes into production. It's really hard once that starts. Like there's a costume change or some kind of detail, you can't just like stop everything at the factory and then reset. It's really challenging. So it's great working. Like the only modern thing we really have for Turtles is Ronin. And that was challenging. Like our figures are coming out now over there. But the books, like the time it takes to make a comic book is so much shorter than an action figure. So we were getting stuff kind of as they were hitting the newsstands or whatever. And then there's another year of just like getting all the figuring out the details, sculpting everything, painting it, getting it all through production, everything. So yeah, it's challenging. We occasionally will get a license for a new movie or a new video game, and I mean it's almost every single time. Like Randy is dealing with the licensors, and the only thing they can share is concept art. Like they don't even have a final costume to show you until you're way into the process or something. And it's just like we can't really. You can't make a figure based on a movie when all they give you is like concept art to work from. So
unless you're Kenner.
Well, yeah, exactly. It reminds me of like Blue Snaggletooth and stuff like that.
Wait, dude, it's this.
There you go. Yeah, that's like that's kind of what happens. Yeah, exactly.
That's concept art right there. Like they're just like, Robin, we'll come out with a Robin later.
But like, do you all? I mean, are those days gone though? If Kenner's like, F it, we're just gonna roll with this, or is IP so protected now that you have to kind of wait till you have a final, or is it something in between?
Well, for us, we always wait till we kind of know what it is. Once it's like locked down, like it's because it's just too challenging. There's to work on stuff as it's changing up to the last minute, or it's still we usually avoid those situations because it's tough. Most of our fans are, it's all stuff from the 80s and 90s that everyone collects. Like that's the bulk of our collector base, I think. So
I'm so pumped for those dinosaur figures. I am like ready.
I'm pumped for the Dracula figure.
Oh, the Monsterizer. Oh,
yep.
Man.
Like I'm pumped for those. Megan, pumped for that one.
Cool.
But yeah, the Monsterizer is sick. I think it's such a brilliant, just bringing back an iconic vintage set. It's kind of pricey, but like I don't know, it's a really neat movie.
Yeah, it's the first time I saw it in person. Randy had told me that we were doing it a while ago, and he might have sent me a couple pictures or something. I was like, oh, that's really cool. But seeing it in person, that was the first time I had seen it at New York Comic Con, and I was just like, oh my God, this is great.
It's so cool.
The monster line is just so cool. Like
it is.
And it's so good that I haven't been buying the monster. I've almost bought the Remco style ones a few times. Like, no, I don't have room. I can't do it. But now that monster's like, oh shit, I think I'm gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna buy it all.
Ties
now.
it all together. So you gotta.
I want to
Exactly.
get that Krampus set. Those Krampus sets look great.
Yeah.
Those are really, really
Like,
awesome.
those are beautiful. Trevor, one last question.
Okay.
Well, it's not the last question, but it is a question.
Oh.
He's like, I'll just leave now. Can I just think?
Go ahead.
Can I just voice over the fact that people are studying Trevor's room to see if there's any spoilers in there?
They do this every time.
Every time.
Every time.
But should we also be looking at Ryan Ting's room? Maybe there's secret spoilers in there.
Oh, he's way
Gotta
too.
be.
No
Hasbro's releasing Mondo figures confirmed. Trevor, is Kirby a deep cut for the Ninja Turtles Mirage line?
Is it? I suppose it could be. He was only in that Donatello one shot, but he does appear like in other media. Like he's on the 2003 show. There's always a reference to Kirby in any version of Turtles, no matter what it is. So
right,
it's not like a super deep cut, but I mean, I saw some comments. There's certainly people that were like, "What does Kirby have to do with Turtles?" When we announced that thing. So
do you know what? At the end of the day, though, it doesn't matter. We should all just be excited to be getting a Jack Kirby toy or Kirby toy.
That's regardless of the TMNT connection, which there is one. It's just the fact getting a Kirby figure is freaking awesome. Like we've got plenty of Stan Lees. No offense, Stan Lee, rest in peace. But like, I want some Kirby action. Let's go.
Could Marvel Legends do that? Could they do a line of artists and writers? Could we get John Byrne and Chris Claremont?
I would buy it. I've got a Steven Spielberg right here. Like, I give me all the creators.
Like
the creators.
There'd be a likeness rights thing. They'd have to go.
Well, then just go get them. Just do it.
And if you've ever watched Marvel like MCU Gallery, they hate mentioning artists by name. They hate it. Like when they did Hawkeye, they were like, we've never heard the name Dave Aja. We just take his work. like it's so wild to me that they just like they acknowledge the writers. They acknowledge the writers all day, and the artists get no love from those movies. It's mind blowing.
Unacceptable.
But yeah, let's work at getting some likeness rights.
But I love Bouquet. Yeah, creative legends, and then just that's a good opportunity for like maybe like a smaller like indie kind of toy company. They just do like 6-inch creators.
Are you taking a Ramen Toys? Can you hear me?
No, it's not even a Ramen Toys. I don't think it's a Ramen Toys. Like I want like a Kickstarter.
It's like Nacelle making those like the stand-up comedians and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't want to buy those at all. But I would buy like creative legends. I don't know. Maybe this is not. Maybe there's no market for it. I'm an idiot. But I mean, listen. All these toy tubers are doing their own toy lines. Maybe that's the one you and Toy Anxiety and us can do.
What is the chance of getting Eastman and Laird 2-pack? Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be based on, that's up to them as well, right?
I don't know. It seems we've got a pretty good relationship with Kevin.
Only if Kevin Eastman? Only if he comes with a tank.
Oh, there's so many tank toys already out there.
Yeah.
We just have to make sure it's like it fits into one of them. His tank or something, maybe. I don't know.
His tank. Do we want to segue into Joe's?
Let's talk about Joe's.
You guys down for some Joe's? Some Super 7 Joe's?
Yo, Joe.
All right. The mothership. I want to get into this for one hot minute. It is time for me to shame some collectors.
Ooh, okay.
This is it. This is the time. I need to shame Joe collectors. For years, even back in the days when I was like collecting the anniversary line, the 3.75s, they were going, where's the O-rings? Where's more O-rings? And then besides, where's more O-rings? It's Do you think we'll ever get a play set the size of a USS Flag again? Man, remember the days where we would get these giant play sets? Blah, 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 blah. And they kept going on about play sets and vehicles. Super 7 says, all right, we're listening. We'll make one. And even though it'll be called Reaction, your O-rings will be to scale and fit inside, which is part of their whole thing when they pitched it or when they launched it. So now all these Joe collectors completely flaked out. Every one of them, except for those few that put their money where their mouth is and backed this. It blows my mind. Now it's like, you don't think other companies are looking at this and going like, well, we're never going to make another. Why would we make anything 3.75 Joe ever again? Why? Why should they? Why would they? You take a look at these like HasLabs that Emily be dropping hot, and these things get funded instantly.
Yep.
And they're like, I'm going to say it. You know what? The new Joe Legacy scale is 6-inch, and it's classified.
Whoa.
I think Real American Hero is dead.
Whoa.
That's it. It is dead.
Damn.
It is classified or nothing at this point. So
Damn.
I think if you collectors are going to sit here and whine and moan that you're finally getting a giant playset in a vehicle, but then have something wrong with it, I don't think you're worth the time. Anyways, that's my.
Let me give a count. Can I give a counterpoint? Because I feel like you came in hot there, Doell.
I did. I'm mad. Mad at these guys.
Can I do a counterpoint? Or you're like, no.
No, you can. Absolutely, you can.
Okay.
Like, this is not a dictatorship.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to be respectful. It's your show. I'm just a guest. But to me, I think this was just a tough proposition in that it's the super. I would assume if Super 7 had do it however they wanted to do it, I would assume they would have wanted to switch Reaction into just being an O-ring line. But for whatever reason, that's not the case. It's cool that it'll be a part of this, but Brian Flynn has said it's only a part of those 5 figures or O-ring.
Yep.
And I think it's been shown that the Reaction G.I. Joes just haven't sold as well. So I know and including myself, like I was really excited. That's why I backed the Sky Striker, because I was really excited for like new O-ring Joes. But that's kind of been put on the shelf. And so I was like, oh man, if Super 7 is going to do it, that'd be great. I would buy those because I haven't bought any of the Reactions. But unfortunately, I think as far as Brian Flynn said, this is all we're getting. And I think that mixed in with this being pretty pricey, even if you're not buying those 5 O-rings, you're at $650. If you throw in the O-rings, you're $730 or something like that after tax and shipping.
Right.
And that's a really tall order. Like if you think about it, the G.I. Joe HasLab Dragonfly was $275, and that thing is huge. Like it is Ryan, you probably know this better than me, but I think it filled up the same display case that Galactus was in last year. It's massive. And I just think I'm still paying off the Cat Slayer, and it's just like a really big pricey item like that right off the heels of a $800 all-in price for the Cat Slayer. I think it's just had too many things pulling away from it. So I don't think it's necessarily the G.I. Joe fans' fault. I just think it's a victim of kind of the circumstances of the moment.
It's 100% their fault.
When these companies though, like when we all do these high tickets type items, we have visibility to what our brand is doing and maybe other brands in the same company, but you don't know what these other companies are doing, and that's like impossible to predict, and no one's gonna like tell each other what's going on, right? So like last year when we were in the middle of our Engine of Vengeance campaign, and then the Eternia kind of went up, and so like, you know, how was I supposed to know like that was going to happen, right? So it is what it is. Sometimes things might work in your favor, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
It seems like these big high ticket items later in the year, maybe that's a learning for everyone, where it's like better get in earlier in the year than towards the end of the year after all these other things have already hit. Like maybe that's something everyone kind of takes back, but then again, you know, only one person, like you don't want multiple campaigns under the same roof overlapping too. So if you want to do multiple a year, and inevitably some are going to have to go in the back half of the year, and then you kind of end up where we are. But yeah.
No, I agree, because I think this year you everyone at Hasbro's done a pretty good job of like staggering it out. Like it was Joe, then it was Star Wars, then it's you all. Like I feel like that's been helpful. But I mean, even the last time you all kind of had a whole bunch going on at once, the Ghostbusters, the G.I. Joe, and the Star Wars, the Rancor was the only one that fell short. And Rancor was really, really close. It was like within a couple hundred, which is kind of crazy. But I feel like everyone's getting in on the crowdfund play. So you have Mattel, Super 7, Hasbro. Plus there's really good Kickstarters out there, like Cyberzoic, the kind of dinosaurs. Like that's an amazing line. That's $450
well, even
all
NECA
in.
does the timed releases, which work kind of similar in vein as well.
Mondo. Like I just got the Beast Man. That's $275. Like there is like there is a saturation point where you just can't swing it.
We're eating well, but we can't afford to buy all the food, right? Like but honestly, like we're going to be looking back in 10 years and going, God, remember we could just buy anything we wanted. Like, you know, I hope it never comes to that. I hope this always flourishes and stuff, but like I said, like, I think this play set is awesome. The Mothership, I think it's cool. Trevor, do you have any thoughts on this Mothership, or like, do you think it's just bad timing, or
I saw it at Comic-Con. I was like, wow, it's cool. It's a lot bigger. You see it in person, and then like the roof lifts off or something. And it's a pretty awesome piece. So I didn't have a lot of Joes when I was a kid. I am pretty hardcore into the classifieds line now. That's a real good series, I think.
There's a lot of bang for your
anyone
buck
that's collecting like the Real American Hero or like the reaction stuff. It's like, this is a pretty awesome place.
Yeah. No, it is like
even if you have all those vintage Joes already, you're already a vintage Joe collector. I think this is just like, fits right in with the rest of your stuff.
I think it does. I just think I don't know, like in a perfect world, I would think Super 7, like, okay, we want 6 months of O-rings. You've built up this new collection of new O-rings. Now I want that piece that's going to bring it all together. Boom. I think there is something to that too, of just like, this is a big thing and it's bringing your collection together. And that's, at least just for me, it's just like, okay, I have the Sentinel and it finally brought together all of my, like, 90s X-Men figures. Or, Galactus kind of gave you everything you needed. You had Silver Surfer, you had his, like it kind of was, only was missing is your Fantastic Four figures, but really.
But those came out same time, didn't they not drop? Like, I'm sure that Fantastic Four wave.
Not the OG, but was, Ryan, what was the newer Fantastic Four crew came around that time?
We had a retro card wave that I think came out the end of year that the Galactus campaign was going. So I think we tried to actually plan it that way. So there was the modern costume wave, which was the Super Skrull wave, which was even before then. Yeah. And then we did the retro card wave, and then the Galactus crowdfund in 2021. Galactus shipped in 2022.
Yeah. So I think there's something to these big pieces have to kind of tie in with or you it's like, I need this to kind of bring this together kind of thing.
Right. But the 60th anniversary line has been pretty, like, I will say, like, it's been a pretty impressive rollout with the amount of like 2-packs and deluxe figures. Like, I think the one figure I think people aren't talking about enough is that Bruce Banner Incredible Hulk 2-pack. That Hulk figure is gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a good one. I have that one around here somewhere.
Right?
People that's
don't.
A good one. Yeah. And Thor and the Destroyer. That one's
Destroyer.
awesome. That Destroyer is cool.
But
right.
yeah, I think Punk with Toys and Gradius ship again. Like they said, O-rings are only going to be a part of those 5. Like, but I think if they're like, we're doing O-rings and this is the start or whatever, I feel like it could have had more pull. But whatever, it's there's no exact science to this. Like we can pontificate or. I think
also, if you want more O-rings, then clearly you need to support this so that people know that you want more O-rings.
But maybe it isn't. Maybe there isn't that O-ring demand, and Classified has become the de facto G.I. Joe.
It is popular.
Line.
You can't deny how popular Classified series is.
Classified's incredible. Like the sculpting's incredible. The paint apps are incredible. All the accessories you get with it, like those things are stacked. Yeah. Like they just
Bazooka right here is one of my favorites.
It's just they're so good. And yeah.
Well,
so
we're already
maybe just moved on. I don't know.
Yeah, we're already at that hour. But let's. Does anyone have pickups they want to show off before we?
I got one.
Before we end the night.
I have so many pickups.
Oh, nice.
I don't even know where to start.
Oh, well then, how about Jay? We'll let you go, and then we'll let Trevor decide.
This I have not shown anywhere yet, not even behind a paywall. But I found at one of my targets the last 3 Rulers of the Sun Motu figures. So this completes my Sunman and the Rulers of the Sun collection for Motu Origins.
Nice.
Again, just such a cool move by Mattel and the Motu team, bringing in this line into the modern era, bringing back like figures we never got even in the original Rulers of the Sun toy line. Just a really great story, really great set of figures, and happy to complete it in the Motu Origins world.
Yeah, great pickup. I love the story behind those toys as well.
Oh, it's a great story. And then to show NECA some love, I got my Strong Heart, which completes my Dungeons and Dragons. So I got everybody. But God, these Dungeons and Dragons figures are unreal. Like,
yeah, those are cool.
I just who runs this line, Trevor?
I think it's Tom Gwynn and Marty Henley that are doing most of the sculpting on those.
Okay.
Dave Silva that does the Beasts of the Mesozoic. I think he did some early concept art, like to kind of.
Oh, cool.
When he was still at NECA, that was one of the last projects I think he was working on. But
that's awesome.
I think Tom is kind of like the main guy on that line now because he's like a diehard D&D fan, and he's been at NECA, I don't know, for 13, 14 years or something like that now. But yeah, I know him and Marty are having a great time like working on those figures.
It's just they're unreal. It's like it's amazing. And then showing Hasbro some love. Speaking of classified series, I got my Cobra.
Ryan just takes off. He's like, no.
F this, not a Legends figure.
I have some Legends figures I can show off. Come back. Oh, there he is. I got Grunt today, but I think I got a delivery confirmation.
Grunt's the hot one. Grunt's selling out like crazy.
Yeah.
But because I bought these from my buddy John's shop at Coast on Toy Geeks, and by the time I got there, all the Grunts were gone, and he had like 10 Grunts, and they were gone.
Whoa.
That's what I got.
All right, Trevor, you're up.
All right, let's we'll start with our buddies here from the chat. I got these at New York Comic Con. Stop by the booth, and I got who's this? Gizmo? What's her name? Oh yeah,
Gozer.
Gozerian. Sorry. But yeah, Tony, I met Baducci for the first time. Tony, I met last year. And I buy a lot of their stuff from Phantasm Toys. They're making all these awesome Ghostbuster ghosts.
Yeah,
and cool creatures. Those things are great.
I love Phantasm Toys.
I want to meet Baducci so bad.
Like,
yeah, he's super nice guy. His artwork's
so good. His
just
art is so good.
fantastic. Yeah.
That Stay Puff is one of my favorite things.
I found this.
Amazing. I
It was only
had that.
$30. It's in the package.
$30.
This is my favorite kind of turtle stuff. Like
Awesome.
just the weird, like goofy turtle sculpts where they're all kind of chubby and goofy looking and just
Oh my god.
it's a little ripped on the top, but that's all right. But
Still.
That's
What, did you get that at New York Comic
this is
Con?
New York Comic Con. This one guy's booth had lots of vintage stuff. He had some like
Amazing.
Ninja Turtle roller skates that were like right next to this. There was like one of those like toothbrush holder things and just
Oh
like
yeah.
Nice.
tons and tons and tons of stuff. But this one was calling to me. I was like, I have to get this.
Oh,
So
that's great.
it was super cool. Yeah, that one's good. Since Abby's not here, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of Calico Critter picking ups.
Nice.
And I got this reindeer family and this penguin family.
Oh, very nice. Great
Yeah.
choices.
These were given to me by Jim Fletcher. If you guys don't know who he is, he used to run DC Collectibles, and now he does all the licensing and stuff at Warner Brothers. But Jim was my old boss. He knows I'm like a huge Calico Critter fan, and he was like up in Northern California somewhere and found this gigantic Calico Critter store, and he sent me this video. He's like, "Oh my god, look at all this!" Like,
Wow.
he's like, "What do you want? What do you need from here?" And I was like, "I need that."
That's awesome.
I think I don't know if because either my girlfriend Rachel or Jim got me this one too, which is pretty
Nice.
cool. So
Oh dang.
up over there on my shelf, I've got the log cabin. There's a school bus down there, so I gotta open this one up and
You need another one of those, and then you have to mod it so it looks like the windmill from Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Oh, they do a really adorable Halloween set, and so there is like a Frankenstein Calico Critter that you could have like at the windmill, and you could have all the other ones like chasing with pitchforks and torches and all that stuff.
Did you see Abby's video from Toy Fair of her
Oh,
tour?
it was great. That walkthrough, I was so jealous. I wanted to be there. They have an amazing setup. So.
She did so good, and you could tell exactly where Craig loses interest and takes over.
Yeah, the camera just
Like it just starts panning. She's
No,
like,
no,
yo,
he's like,
you
"Back
come
here."
back here.
Yeah.
Craig's
Yeah,
just like,
that video was great.
this isn't what I'm into. Let's just move along.
Yeah, and like Jake was back there because at one point you just see this arm that's like all tattoos, and I was like, there's some big burly like tattoo man and I was like, oh, and then I was like, of course it's Jake. Like they were just all there together.
Amazing.
But yeah,
There's this big
Picked up.
biker in the this big tattooed biker, the Calico Critter.
yeah, I was like, it's catching on,
Yeah.
like all of a sudden there's more. I got these guys too when I was at Comic-Con. Lots of clones.
Ooh,
We got
nice.
Webman. I might be the only one still getting Black Series stuff. I know.
Hey, there's literally dozens of you out there, so I think
There's
you know,
dozens
you're
of
still-
yeah. So, yeah, that's I think that's most of my. Oh, I did get this is from about a week or two ago. It's not a toy, but I did get this signed picture of Ray Wise at the
Nice.
Burbank Hollywood show.
Yeah, did
That's
you
awesome.
get it signed, or did you just get a signed?
No,
picture?
he was there. I met him.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he was. They had a whole bunch of Twin Peaks people, and so my girlfriend was like going crazy, like meeting all of them, and I was like, oh my god, it's Ray Wise, and there was a bunch of good photos. He had his Star Trek, his Next Gen appearance. He had that photo. This one where he's just sitting there in the chair that was calling me. I was like, I need to bring that to work. And it was
Nice.
I'll just stare at it all day.
Those are awesome pickups.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
So-
Ryan, did you grab anything?
I've got some recent pickups. Yeah. So first off, I finally completed the Target exclusive Mutated Turtles. Right.
Nice.
So these guys, I did break a rule because I got two of them to start. I think I got Donnie and Mikey because they were the only ones there at our Target, and I was like, well, there's only two. It's easier to pass. And my wife's like, no, you should get them. You know you're gonna want them. So I was like, okay,
Oh,
fine.
man, your
So
wife's incredible.
for a while, I just had these two, and then when I was down in Orlando for Destination D23, where I took Giant Man down, the hotel I was staying, which was not on Disney, it was like not a Disney hotel. It was like 15 minutes away, but it was like connected to this little strip mall that had one of these small Targets. And I was just walking around, and I got Raph there, and so I rewarded myself, work trip, working hard. So I got Raph, but then I've been hunting Leo for like weeks, ironically, because I don't really care as much for him. But then, finally got him last weekend, I think. And it was funny because at our local Target, I went to the turtle aisle, and they had some of the others that I already had, and they didn't have Leo. And I was like, oh, like bummer. And then I walked around, and then he was just on another shelf. Someone had taken it and just dropped it off. So it was the one Leo, and it was in good condition. So that was pretty lucky. So now these are complete, so I can rest easy on that front.
Nice.
And then at New York Comic Con, a good friend, a great human being, kind of helped me out with some of these Ronin TMNT turtles. And so I'm not going to open them yet because I haven't read my trade paperback yet. I want to finish reading it or start reading it to finish.
No spoilers,
And then and then I finally got the Comic-Con Alf to go with my Kid Robot Alf plush. And I vaguely remember the Alf show. I didn't really watch it, but for some reason, like, my dad watched it and had a plush Alf in his office. So that's my like connection.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really cute.
Because
I love that.
So yeah, so those were my recent pickups, and this finally shipped to me too. Got to plug the bro.
Of course.
N1
Starfighter here.
Let's all do it.
Oh my God, are we N1 Elite?
Oh my God,
Trevor, where's yours?
Oh, screen grab this for the bosses.
Here it is.
There it is.
Yeah,
oh, perfect. There's everyone's screen cap.
Shift command. Do you have it for real, Trevor?
No, I have this.
Oh,
whoa!
Hold
wait.
up.
Okay, sure. Let's just take this picture real quick. Put that in there. Yeah.
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 That's super cool. That's.
So, did you have something to say about this, or do you want to talk about it all? Or what?
I found this on eBay. It's from Reboot. You remember that show?
Oh my God! I was about to say it looks like something I know.
Oh,
but of course, it's
yeah.
Reboot. That's a Canadian icon.
Reboot. And then there's
that's
another
perfect.
one.
That works perfect.
It works real good. And then there's Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. They also have a really cool looking hot rod.
Because I've always thought of just getting another one of the shell cruiser and like repainting it, but that's actually cooler, I think.
That is cool. Everybody, get on eBay right now. Go look for those Reboot
Ewok
cars.
Village confirmed. We're not making a foot cruiser.
Why not? Just do it.
Well, maybe we will. I don't know.
Hot rod.
But I tried to unbox this earlier today and my camera wasn't working, but I'm excited for this. I think this is a really cool set. I think this one's so good. I think I may sell my Razor Crest, because if he never gets a Razor Crest again, this is going to be his like de facto ship, right? Like, do I need a Razor Crest?
Oh, you do. I do. I still have to keep mine, man. I got a whole like legacy shelf of like the Mandalorian. Like, I got the Navarro bar set up, and all the characters that he interacts with are all sitting at the bar and hanging out at the bar. It's like I got a nice little setup going.
Am I alone in thinking of just like, I want like in a world where there's like two vehicles for the same character, like I just pick one of them that's the most iconic? Because canonically, I can't think of their.
How many Batmobiles do you own?
Fuck, you got me.
Done.
You win, Doel. You win. But it's not like it's like separate Batmobiles for separate times. I don't know.
Isn't that what this is?
Sometimes.
You're right. Yeah, but it's just. But if this is his go forward vehicle, like, do I need to keep the Razor Crest?
Well, do you need to keep the '89 Batmobile when he's got the one from Batman and Robin? We got to keep moving.
That's different.
Forward.
I have a display with '89, and I got a display with superpowers.
Do you like the Razor Crest?
Huh?
Do you like the Razor Crest?
I haven't even opened it yet. It's still in the box.
No, but it just the Razor Crest as a thing.
I like it. I like it as a vehicle better than the N1. I think it's just cooler for a
I do too. I was bummed out when it got blown up.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What
Because
is
we
it-
all
What do they do?
our credit cards all got charged at the same time. That thing exploded.
Yeah, there
It's
was
like
one
a-
shot that blew up the Razor Crest, another one that hit everyone's credit card.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's like I heard the charging of tens of thousands of credit cards all at once.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I was bummed when they blew that thing up on the show. I was like, we got another cool vehicle here.
It's cool. I
Yeah.
love the N1, and I really dig it. But I kind of still hope, like, whenever Mandalorian season 4 or whatever, Ahsoka season 2 is just like, hey, I found another Razor Crest. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, eventually, Din Grogu is he's gonna want his own seat. He's not gonna want to sit on Din's lap all the
So
time.
he runs the N1, and then he gets another Razor Crest or something. I don't know.
That'd be kind of cool. All right, let's get us on. Someone knows Dave Filoni here. I'm sure Dave Filoni might even be watching.
He's watching right now.
Probably.
Big
There
fan.
you go.
Big
Yeah,
fan.
he's- he loves Toy Anxiety Bootleg. That's what I heard. All right, folks. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. So let's do some plugs, and there will be Bootleg Extreme Bootleg on after this. I don't know if Ryan and Trevor are joining. You are more than welcome to join if you can't, because I know it's late where you are, Ryan. And you guys are both very busy human beings as well. If you can't join, that's totally cool. If you can, that's awesome too. Trevor, where can people find you?
they can't.
Perfect.
I have Instagram, but I never really use it or post anything. But NECA has plenty of socials, so support NECA, buy your toys so we can keep making more fun stuff. I think it's like NECA official or something on Instagram.
Yeah.
Give them a follow, give them a like.
Right?
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
So that way
Trevor,
you're
you missed-
always up to date on all their new reveals and releases.
Trevor, you
You'll
missed
be
your
more
chance
up to
to
date
be
than I am.
like, where can you find me? None of your damn business.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram, but it's like I don't. It's so weird. Like
I love it. Ryan, where can folks find you? Where can people go and support this giant man?
Yeah, so HasbroPulse.com for the Giant Man. October 23rd, Monday is the last day, full day Monday. So go check that out if you haven't. There's also some great coverage from New York Comic Con. We did interviews with Toying Around, with ACBA Boog from ACBA, Shartimus Prime, Adventures in Collecting podcast. Had a really fun interview with Dave and Eric. So if you guys want to hear more about Giant Man and see some of the up close kind of detailing, go check those out. I am on Instagram at Ryan_Ting, but I just post kind of like, fun stuff. Not really breaking news there, but we will have some more marketing coming out this week for Giant Man to give you, again, some more views if you're on the fence. And then, if there's any other, big time toy streamers out there who have anything going on this week, Jay, I don't know. Can I invite myself on Sunday? If you guys are
Absolutely.
live Sunday, I might need this
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
Ryan
You
was like
on
the
the
way to go.
trajectory there. But,
open
yeah.
invitation. Open invitation.
all right, sounds good.
Is the Marvel Legends team going to be at 10/27?
We
Ooh,
are
yeah.
going to be at 10/27.
That's
Yes,
exciting.
So there will be at least one reveal, maybe more. That'll be after the HasLab campaign. So we will move on from HasLab and move on to some other Marvel Legends,
Right.
which is a relief. And we look forward to that. So check us out on the 27th.
Do you get to do a cool video like the Ghostbusters team did, which, by the way, they killed
So
it.
good.
It's
No.
so good.
Ghostbusters team are awesome. They get to do the coolest teaser videos, shooting in the office. We'll just be in the studio, boring studio with our boring faces. Unfortunately.
Okay, Ryan, because I don't know if you watched, maybe you didn't, but on my stream, I did frame by frame and analysis, and then on YHS we did frame by frame. Was that a waste of time, or maybe was it beneficial? I don't know.
I have to go and watch the video. I haven't seen the
Okay.
full thing, and I didn't get to the to that
That's
part
fine.
of
It's
the
not your
stream.
brand anyway, but
But
we
I am
we
curious.
analyzed every second of that video.
Yeah.
You're like I was fast forwarding through it. They like went to the toy boutique. There was like a
Yeah.
Nerf football at some point because
Mhm.
that's actually where we go and can buy some stuff in the tiny employee store. So that's fun. So I'll go back and rewatch that.
That's super cool. Plus, I also want to give you props for PulseCon. PulseCon this year was great,
so
even
good.
though it was
PulseCon was great.
it was one day. That's all it needed to be. But just I have to say, just having Dan Larson, we will always give Dan Larson a shout out whenever we can on this show.
I stan Larson.
Yeah. Well, he was also on the last bootleg before this. He was on bootleg.
Wait, does that count as bootleg? Because I wasn't there, so it's not a real bootleg.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, I wasn't there. Oh, you're right. Sorry, I was talking about the Comic-Con one you guys did.
Yeah, you're talking
BitterCon.
about BitterCon.
Yeah.
Right, but you guys,
Because you weren't there.
You guys killed it again. Like it was really good. So you guys should be really stoked about it.
Thu and Larson were great picks, but then I just gotta give props to Emily. I feel like Emily had
Emily
like
show.
75 brands to rep that day, like hustling but like, was it stressful doing that live? Like, were you like, we could screw this up, or was it easier doing it live versus like pre-taped?
For us and me, I think True Live is actually better because you're just forced to roll with it. But like when we do these pre-records, it's like ready, go, and you're just like, "Hi, my name is blah blah blah," and, and you have to do like 5 takes, right? But we did do a full rehearsal, like every single beat we wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt kind of funny, like saying your little jokes and then saying them a second time where no one laughs as hard, but that's the first time that the audience sees it. So I saved my little intro thing for I was good that I didn't rehearse it because then it would have fallen even flatter the second time around. But no, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. And Emily killed it. It was super fun to have Dan Larson and Thu, who are clearly toy experts and toy guys, kind of hosting. And the setup was just really awesome, where there was like that main area, and then there was the host kind of stage, and there was just this camera on an arm that swung over back and forth. That was really fun.
Just the screen and everything looked slick. Like I said, you guys, everyone did a bang up job. It was really, really good. And again, that was my first Thu experience because I don't collect Transformers, so I don't know the Transformers.
But he did the intro for it last year. That was my first one. When he did it last year.
I kind of totally
introed it, right? He did like the pre-show thing or something.
He did, but I think that was for like. Was that played in the U.S. or was that more? I don't know. I forget if that was more of like an international because they're like ahead of us. And he's from the UK.
I just remember watching it. I was like, oh, this guy's cool. He's funny.
Yeah. We should get him to do the pre-show with Jay and John for the Jeffries. I think that's
Jeffries. I think we were trying to do live Jeffries this year.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that.
Maybe.
That's dangerous too. Right? But no, that's super fun. But no, thank you. Jay, you do your plugs. And then we'll get ready for Extreme.
Plugs. I'm going to have Ryan Ting on this Sunday on Toy Anxiety, talking about Giant Man last
on Toy Anxiety. On Toy Geeks.
Oh, Toy Geeks, whatever my show. Toy Geeks, Sundays at 9. And check out GDL too. I'm still going to try and do this live unboxing of this guy. I want to figure that out because I want to just do more unboxings because I don't always review every toy I get. So doing just unboxings and stuff would be a lot of fun. But anyways, check it out. Geek That Life. Check it.
Nope, that's awesome. So again, thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Jay. This has been an amazing bootleg. Let's see if I can find my music.
It was different this time, music, right?
Yeah, I couldn't find the other one.
Oh, nice.
I was being like Dwight. It's like
scroll through your phone. Let me see those playlists.
Yeah. No, don't look. Don't look. Awesome. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you everyone for watching. I won't see you for another 2 weeks, so I'll see you all in November. Have a good night.